We are.
Red lights on means it's the Baco Motorsports Power Hour, the Bakersfield Speedway segment. Got owner promoter Scott Schweitzer in here. How you doing, Scott?
Tired.
Tired.
Another long week.
Another long week. Well, you're gonna have a lot of long weeks because you only get two breaks.
Couple of breaks.
Couple breaks. You got one coming up around the 4th of July,
Right.
where you take your annual break to recharge the batteries, let the racers go do whatever they're going to do, and leave that weekend dark. And then around the 1st of September.
And we do actually. We have one. Yeah, Labor Day weekend. We're dark this year, so I got an extra weekend off.
Extra weekend off.
Yeah,
well,
I'm
you
excited.
probably find something to do.
Woo, yeah.
2 weekends off this year.
It's just like some shows. Getting ready for some shows are harder than the other. You know, Saturday night we had the return of the CRA sprint car, so a little bit more entailed getting ready for that show. So
yeah, a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah,
little more. And that was the first time since 2005 the non-wing 410 sprint cars have been here. So
yeah, it was pretty excited to have them back on the track. So
Tom Mock was out there as usual. I think Charmaine, we got some shots of those open-wheeled sprint cars there, and this is obviously hot laps are qualifying, and you probably don't want to do the wheelies too often.
No,
but these cars had wheels up, and I think there's some shots through here. If you go through a couple of slides of the Charmaine, there's some cars just totally. This one I love. I mean, this is in qualifying, I bet.
And that actually is Tommy Malcolm, the Dino Napier's son that used to race a late model for us. He started racing 410 sprints down. He races at Paris, which is closer to his house. But, man, I was surprised to see him in a sprint car. He wheeled that thing up pretty good.
And you look at that. I mean, it's totally sideways.
Yeah, these guys are
getting through the corner, and then you can see he's looking down, looking through the corner there. Those wheels will eventually straighten out and get back on.
That's what makes these CRA sprints so unusual is because they don't have the wing. I mean, you put a wing on them, they're a World of Outlaw car. Without a wing, they're just out of control, and it's all put in the driver's hands. And, man, these guys are talented.
Yeah, so go ahead and show a couple more of these slides. This ended up being the winner. This is Damian Gardner here in the 4 car, and he's just this looks like a pretty good run through here. Left wheel's just up a little bit. You can see that right front wheel's just kissed off the ground a little bit, but complete control of this car. And he had 72 wins coming into this race, far and away, like double anybody, the nearest competitor in the series over the years. He's a 5-time champion, and I think he showed that Saturday night.
You could see why. You can see why he's a champion. It was a great run by Damian.
And then another one here, and this is early on in hot laps I assume these are qualifying runs.
Yeah, they qualified. I'm sure that's what it is.
Out there. And another thing, completely sideways.
Yeah, and they don't get off the gas. That's what's amazing. When they're sideways, wheels up in the air, they still don't lift. And that's what's amazing about these guys.
And yet they come around and exit the corner.
Yeah.
Most
and
of the
then
time
then
in the
they
right
put
direction.
You put 10, 12 other cars out there with them, and they don't change they still do this. That's what's amazing.
Okay, Charmaine, go ahead and run through this. Is this Shannon here?
That's Shannon McQueen.
Yeah,
she was actually in her 360. But talked to him. They had rented the track and did some testing before and talked to the car owner. And the car owner was like, this is such a tight bull ring that we feel that, we won't be too far off. And I was really surprised when after the cars were all checked in, we had about 6 cars that were actually 360s. So they weren't the only team that did that. And she had a great run.
Go ahead and run through the rest of these slides here. Charmaine, we got Damian out there passing for the lead, and then here he is celebrating a win, number 73, I believe, for him.
Yeah.
And in victory lane with the family, so that's a nice shot.
Yeah, USAC does a great thing there where they print an extra plaque, and at the end of the last race, they invite the fans down to meet the drivers, and the winner of the main event signs a flag, signs a plaque, and they give it away to a lucky fan. So this was a quick photo of the 2 kids that were fortunate to get those things that Damian had signed.
There you go. And then we have the results here. You got Damian Gardner got the win, Brody Rowe second, Danny Ferreira from up north third, Jake Swanson and Cody Williams.
And that Brody Rowe, he actually on the opening lap got a flat tire, was in a little mishap, got a flat tire, went off the track, came back on last, and was able to work his way all the way back up to second, and was actually catching Damian. If we would have had another 10 laps, might have had a different outcome. It was a great run by Brody Rowe.
That was a good deal. And then that was a 30-lap race. And then before that, you had the IMCA Northern Sport mods out there. And a little side-by-side action here. And we go through these slideshows of it's Jason Nation there, Billy Simpkins, and Gary Dutton here. Gary went on to win this thing, but I think Billy finished third in that race.
Yeah, Billy's been having some great runs in that car. He's got that car right where he wants it. He's very competitive, even with the points and having to start, 10th, 12th in the field. He's still showing up in top 3, or he's in the top 4 down there in the claim area every week that they run. So it's a great run for Billy.
Getting close. I think we've got a couple more slides of these. You got James Cecil there. And is that Matt Mayo up there?
Yeah, that's the dad, Matt Mayo.
Matt Mayo in the 13 car, side by side, 2 different lines right there. They're taking through the corner at Bakersfield Speedway. And I think the next slide might be Gary Dutton again, wheeling around. Nope, we got Clint Reichenbach.
Yeah, that's Clint Reichenbach and Austin Manzella in the 04M.
And once again, 2 different lines through the corner there on that. And then we've got Gary Dutton, who got out front on this race. And the next slide, I believe, is Gary there. And then he doesn't look too happy in this next slide in Victory Circle. I don't know. He just looks like, been here before. Go ahead and show this next one, Charmaine, and you'll see what I mean. There it is. Smile, Gary, smile. Yeah. You just won. But
well, they've been fighting some car issues, having a fuel issue, but obviously they were able to they're on the road to recovery with that and getting it figured out. So it's a good run by Gary.
And then we've got the, I think what we had up, Gary Dutton, Jason Nation. Jason's been up there all year running well. Billy Simpkins, Nick Spainhoward, he's got to win this year. He was leading points heading into this race. And Jarrett Schweitzer there for 5th.
Yeah.
Good run there. And then you had the American stocks here, Chad Johnson.
Cody
Johnson. We've got to keep the Johnsons.
Yeah, there's so many.
Chad and Steve run.
Yeah. Stock cars,
IMCA stock. So this is Cody Johnson.
Yeah. Chad's son.
Nice looking car here. And go ahead and run through the rest of the slides here quickly, if you would, Charmaine. We've got once again some side-by-side action in the American stocks. More side-by-side action. I don't know why we have all this side-by-side action, Scott. I mean, how boring is that?
Yeah.
And then you've got
there was actually the American stocks. The last couple of races have been put on a fantastic show. Gary Spiller, which is a rookie to the division, got out in the lead and had a pretty good lead going. And then the 95 of Brody and the 11 of Cody, man, they chased him down. And the 95 and the 7 were battling, and Cody was able to get around them both. And then it was left for the 95 and the 11 to battle it out. And it was a good, clean race, and Cody was able to get it. And I think it's his first win at Bakersfield in the American stocks.
There it is. He gets a big hug there and a win. Brody comes in 2nd, Gary Spiller 3rd, Miranda Scott 4th, and Brandon Ratcliffe 5th.
Yeah.
And then you also had the mini stocks racing out there. There's the side-by-side action in the mini stock. You can roll through these first 2 or 3 slides here, if you would, Charmaine, and we can see what kind of type of cars we got. Little sideways here, little crooked coming through the corner there.
The track was a little wet. We had,
when they ran, you can see that in the 313 there. And then, of course, the winner here, Sean Schwarzenberger.
Got to be the longest last name.
Longest last name, because on my slides it
can't even fit it all in.
Yeah. That would be tough to fit on the back of the fire suit, but he gets a win. So he's another winner in the division that's seen now I think that's 4 or 5 winners. Lonnie's won, and so the 1, 2, 3 car, Misty Warren's won. So you've got a lot of different winners in that division, and right about 20 cars again. Yeah,
the mini stock's been showing up in Forest, so it was one of those divisions we were kind of worried about, thinking that we were beating them up and they were crashing them up and they'd be tailing off. But they're showing up in Forest, putting on some great racing, and it was again Lonnie Spiller was out in the lead and had some yellows, and Schwarzenberger was able to get her there and towards the end and then keep the lead. So another great race by the mini stock.
Yeah, so they're putting on a good show, and that's a cycle of racing. Some fields will come up and they'll go down and back and forth, and it happens. You got the Speedway coming up here. We got IMCA Modifieds this weekend, IMCA Stocks, Mod Lights, California Lightning Sprints, and NMRA 3/4 midgets.
Yep.
The slide up there. In the mods, Robbie Sawyer's leading the way with in points. Cody Laney, Scott Pounds, they're both looking for their first win of the season. Ethan Dawson has 2 wins. Brad Pounds, he got his first win last week, so pretty competitive there. IMCA stocks. Devin Jones leads the points. That's what happens when you runner up and runner up.
Consistent, yeah.
And we were talking earlier because I get the Johnsons all confused. Chad Johnson and Steven Johnson have each won a race out there in the IMCA stocks. And it looks like in Mod Lights that Zach Forrester, who dominated that division in 2015, last year was Jerry Flippo's year. Zach Forrester's 2 races, 2 wins.
Yeah, Zach, I think's made a commitment to get back in the racing and hit it hard. So, but can't count out Jerry Flippo in their last race. It was those 2 cars battling for the win. So, and I'm sure it'll be probably those 2 cars again this weekend.
Jeff Thompson's run well out there.
Yeah, he's getting faster.
Balcazar has had some good runs out there. So it's a good division. Had over 15 cars, I think, the last race. So a good deal there. So 5 divisions on Saturday night should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could take a little break. It's a little bit easier racing to manage than last weekend. So, but still, looking for a great turnout with the modifieds. They always put on a great show, running 30 laps now, and be a good night of racing.
Be a good night of racing, and look forward to that, and look forward to a lot of racing out there this summer.
Every Saturday, we're there.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in, Scott.
Yeah, no worries.
We'll see you out there.
Okay.
We'll be back next week with the Baco Motorsports Power Hour.